Enzo, R&G Precision, tell me a little bit more about the company.
Well, the company was started back in '73, and it was doing a lot of shoe components in the Northamptonshire area where all the shoe industry were, the shoe factories.
All right.
It then moved on a bit more technology, up to date, did Formula One work, moved into aerospace and telecoms, and now it's a mixture of all of those, as well as some scientific and more and more medical, a little bit of automotive, not so much, but the higher end of the scale of our customers is mainly medical, aerospace, and Formula One.
So really, basically, you're looking after so many different industries. Batch sizes, you going all the way up from ones to thousands?
Correct, yeah, we top out at around 1,000 components, and that is sort of spread over a period of months, but we go all the way down to 5 ops, 10 ops. So yeah, it's for us a comfortable batch size is up to 1,000.
Tell me a bit more about where you wanted to be. Are you, as a manager of a company, a director, are you where you wanted to be now?
We're getting there. We've moved from like single batches, single component, long lead time, long cycle times, where, as you can see, we're now moving to multiple parts. Lights out machining is really where I want to push the company. Having that production in the evening, over the weekends, without anyone present, just coming in to make sure that the machine's still running, which you can do remotely anyway. But yeah, slowly we're getting to where I want the company to be.
And what would you say that you're doing that's quite efficient in terms of staff? You know, when an order comes in, what's your process?
So when an order comes in, it goes onto our live manufacturing system. The drawings are available, all documentation that's needed to produce the part is available on the shop floor, on a touch screen, and then from there it gets split up into the cells, and then the head of sales takes care of that all the way through, and then the overall team leader in milling overlooks everything.
So with regards to your staff members, what improvements do you think that you could make here then?
Well, I think with efficiency with staff, I think it's more having less people per spindle.
Yes.
So the idea of having not only your machine strategically placed in a cell, but also giving cycle times between machines. So one person probably do 2,
yes,
maybe 3 at a push, but definitely 1 to 2, which then gives us a lot more efficiency with the staff that we've got in the milling section.
Right, I want to hear about problems. What problems do you face, Enzo? Like, I want to hear a day in the life of Enzo.
Problems we face is when you try and give what we call a one-stop shop to a customer. So you try and cover every basis machine-wise to support your customer and processes and 5-axis, 4-axis, 3-axis, whatever. The problem I see that I face more and more nowadays is more outsourcing and more people outside, like heat treatments and anodizing, and trying to get all that done in the time frame that the customer wants, which I think a lot of people have learnt from Formula One, and they're shrinking their lead times from what was 4 to 5 weeks. Now they're looking at 2 weeks, or can I have it next week? So that is the issue.
But then is the next step for you to bring that in-house, or is some of that just absolutely not possible?
I think you need to stick to what you know. If you start bringing foreign processes in, it will take you a long time to learn.
Got to train.
Predominantly affect your business a lot more. And I think you just need to try and improve and speed up your in-house processes to then give more time to your outside processes.
You know what, you've kind of hit the nail on the head there, because that is exactly what you've done with this purchase.
Correct, yeah. And speeding that up, again, just going back to this, if you can do a month's worth of components in 2 days over the weekend, then that gives you as much time as you want to outsource the anodizing or whatever you need to do. So that's how you would do that.
Enzo, we're here in front of your newest investment. Now, how do these machines allow you to schedule so far in advance?
Well, the beauty of these is because you've got the option of 10 pallets, so that if you've got small parts where you've got a big order, say like 1,000, you can load them all up. You could probably do all of those components either in an evening or a weekend, which then allows you to do more complex stuff, or if you want a lower volume during the day, or completely mix it up so you're getting a complete suite of different parts during the day and during the night.
Which is all about mixing and matching your parts, because most people don't get big $5,000 orders that they can design a whole automation system around. This is so versatile that allows you to schedule loads of different parts on the same machine.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you don't need 1,000 off one part, for example. You could have 1,000 off 3-4 different parts. As long as far as I'm concerned, they're all aluminium, and you've got the tools, which you should have, you can just run them all and treat it as one big batch.
And because this is so versatile, how many parts have you got scheduled and how far in advance?
So on these two machines, we've run, I would say, probably about 15 different parts. And of those 15 parts, I've got orders from now until June next year, which range from 50 a month to 150 a month. So as far as we're concerned, we can run a whole batch, 2 months worth, 3 months worth, and I know that they're firm orders. So
yeah, in just a couple of months, these machines are now almost the backbone of your business.
Indeed, correct. And the thing I like about them is because you've got the option of all these different parts, when you're putting one in for inspection and you're waiting, you're not got downtime because you just switch the next part on and it runs anyway. So while they're inspecting, you're still producing.
Fantastic, high productivity machine sell. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Of course, you've spoken about some of the highs, but there is lows to
Yeah,
running
of course
a machine
there is.
shop.
Yeah, of course there is. And I think the lows for me, which ultimately, if you carry them out correctly, will turn into highs.
Yeah.
So the lows for me on a day-to-day basis is not only thinking about 5 years in the future, where do I want to be, what's my investments, where do I want to go machine-wise, also in the day-to-day, which I can honestly trust my staff to leave and run day-to-day, but they also want some experience and some knowledge and what you've seen before and some input. So for me, from deciding what machine to buy next, being prepared on what I want on it, how I want it tooled up, how I want the work holding, and working with the guys project-wise, which I really enjoy, to then literally turning around and making sure I've got enough work for that machine. So reaching out to customers, going to see them.
How do you find that time? Because who's selling what you're making?
Well,
Is that you?
I find myself on business social media sites late at night, leaving messages for buyers.
Oh, really?
So in the morning, hopefully they'll reply and I'll get an appointment. And it literally is finding 10 minutes wherever I can and away from the workshop, doing that in my own time, so after hours.
And do you ever get any time to do fun things? A little bit.
A little bit.
Like this.
A little bit like this, yeah. When you've got a camera crew all day, yeah.
He hasn't got a choice.
It distracts you from day-to-day running, yeah.
Of course, it kind of breaks it up. Goals, what's your, as I often say, utopia of where you want to be? You mentioned goals, 5 years, 10 years. You know, I'm thinking you're going to want to invest, but where do you want to be?
Investment, yes. More automated machinery, but also just more efficient, more throughput. I mean, obviously my goal is to get more output for the same amount of people that I've got now.
Yes.
If I achieve that, then I know that the goal is there. But equally, to do that, you need to invest, and you need to invest in faster, newer technology to keep up with other companies around you.
Ah, thank you. It's so good to kind of see an insight into your life, and hopefully we'll be back soon again. And the machine shop might look a little bit more different with some more machines in as well, some more of these.
Will do.
Thanks, Enzo.
Thank you.